911, what are you reporting?
I got a strange going on out here. Something just killed my dog.
Something killed your dog?
My dog went flying through the air over the tree. I don't know how it did it.
From baffling missing 411 cases that leave us questioning reality to the elusive and legendary creatures like Bigfoot, we are here to discuss it all.
By God, if a hand come from the other side of that fence, grab this thing by the head and neck, just one-timed it.
1 o'clock in the morning, I'm awakened by lights, bright lights. I'm talking about, Josh, the lights were so bright, it looked like daytime, so I thought it was the morning.
There's just something going around, attacking our sheep. And my grandma used to talk about this guy, Ketso, that means, Bigfoot in our language, so.
If you have ever found yourself captivated by the unexplained or intrigued by the mysterious, you are in the right place. Welcome to Mysteries Unknown. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another live from Mysteries Unknown. Got a great show lined up for you guys tonight. We're going to be talking about the evidence for Bigfoot. A lot of video evidence, photo evidence, audio stuff we're going to be going through. But as always, I got my amazing co-host Daniel with me tonight. What's up, bud?
What's up, everybody?
Hope everybody's doing good tonight. It's good to see everybody here. A lot of new faces in the chat. Bree, it's good to see you. Bigfoot Reports and Data. Good to see you, Daryl. Always good to see you, buddy. Daryl's been on the show before. Great guy. Owl Moon Labs. Good stuff. Bigfoot Reports and Data. Michelle's good to see you. So many familiar faces. A lot of new faces. Glow. It's good to see you. And we're just excited to have everybody here tonight. And we're going to be getting into all things Bigfoot. But before we do that, what are you drinking tonight, man?
I'm dry tonight, man. I didn't bring anything down.
No. I got some water. I don't have coffee tonight, guys. I just got water. So, but we'll make that work. It's good to see you, Bo. Good to see you, Wade. Well, that counts for something, man. It's great. Well, listen, guys, we're going to get into this tonight. And, Bigfoot's one of these topics that there's a lot of mystery surrounded around that. I like that cup. That's great, man.
It's Sasquatch.
That's great. That's great. But we've got some evidence that we have found from different places. And sometimes people send us evidence. And if you do have evidence that you would like to have on the show, please send it to me and we'll get it on there. But we're going to go over a lot of that stuff tonight and just have a good time, hang out. If this is your first time in the chat, please let us know. Let us know what state you're representing and if it's your first time here. These lives are a little bit different. We like to talk to everybody in the chat and just have a good time. But as always, let's jump right into it tonight. And I'm going to play a little video here about what we're going to be talking about.
Welcome to tonight's live show. We'll be showcasing some intriguing video evidence and playing audio clips that could bring us closer to the truth behind the legend. From mysterious sounds to fascinating visuals, we're diving deep into the facts and theories. Get ready for an unforgettable journey into one of the world's greatest mysteries. The proof is out there. Welcome to Mysteries Unknown.
Always like these kind of shows. I love to look at different video and audio evidence and just kind of give our opinions and stuff, man. But what about you, man? You excited?
I am. I enjoyed finding a bunch of the stuff. I'm excited about going over this email that I received from a listener that watched one of my episodes on my channel. And then I'm going to also record it for my channel and put it on there as well. But I definitely wanted to get it out here first. And yeah, it should be a good one.
We're excited about that. Go ahead and plug your channel, man, for everybody jumping on here if they're new, man. Tell them about your channel.
Sure. My channel is the Cryptid Podcast, and I started it. Well, it says I started it in like October 18th, but I didn't put anything on there until early November.
Mhm.
And yeah, from there, I'm sitting at like almost 1,250 subs. I'm enjoying it. I'm having a good time. I'm trying to get a lot of stuff out there. And if anybody wants to come on the show, if you have an encounter, and I'm talking to Daryl Adams in particular because I reached out to him before, and I don't know, I think he missed it. But yeah, if you'd like to come on to my show, it's the Cryptid Podcast 72@gmail.com. Let me know.
Yeah, hit him up. He's
Yeah.
a good guy.
There you go.
You know, we built this whole platform on being a safe place for people to share their encounters, and he's just like me. You know, we call ourselves gatekeepers. If you send us something, it won't go any further unless it's something you guys want to get out there. So it's a great show. If you love this show, you're going to like his. So make sure to go check him out and give him some love and hang around. We're going to be talking about that story he's talking about and getting into all that. But we got some good evidence for you guys tonight, some videos and photos to go through, and then just talking about maybe what we think Bigfoot is, the origins of Bigfoot, that kind of stuff. We might even throw in a dogman encounter. But, you know, in the chat, if you would, let us know what you think Bigfoot is. If you think it's more than flesh and blood, if you fall into the Wu tribe, let us know, and would love to hear your opinions. Got people from all over. Canada's here, Mississippi, Taft the Wanderer is here, representing Mississippi and Louisiana. Let's see, Eastern North Carolina, Southern or Southeast Missouri, North Carolina, good old Rocky Top. And also too, I got to plug Bigfoot Reports and Data. Harley is an amazing guy. Guys, if you love this community, if you love this kind of stuff, go check him out on his channel. He does a phenomenal job. Kind of picked up where Scott Carpenter has picked up, dropped off at, and he's just picked right up on that mantle and continued on. Speaking of that, let me show you some evidence he captured, man. Why don't you give the backstory on this photo, Daniel? You know which one I'm going to talk. I've got a couple of photos from him. We'll start right there.
Well,
this dog, man. Go ahead.
Real quick before we get in there, and I know some people are going to make comments, not necessarily that are in here right now, but maybe watching the replay. You guys, we're not saying what we're going to show you, what we're going to present to you as factual 100% Bigfoot. That's what it is. We're not going to, no, we're just saying, hey, this is what's been presented out to the world. If you have a way of looking at this information on YouTube or any other channel that posts videos or stories, whatnot, they're just very compelling. They're very interesting, and they make you kind of stop and scratch your head a little bit. You may not believe what you see. You may not believe what you hear. We're not trying to change your mind any other way. We're just saying, hey, this is what's out there. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up and laying that foundation, because sometimes I forget to say that. But, we're just trying to get the information out there. We both have had encounters. We both are we have a different mindset on what these things are and how they fit into the world. But, everybody's opinion is welcome here, and this is a safe place to share your opinions and your thoughts. If you've got an encounter you would like to send me, you can always send me an email at mysteriesunknownpodcast@gmail.com. But this photo, man, lay the foundation for this photo, the Dogman photo.
Okay, so Harley from Bigfoot Reports and Data, he's out, and I think he's out. I want to say he's out with his daughter's dad, so his stepdaughter's dad, and they're out and about, and he's doing what he's doing. He goes miles off trail, sometimes by himself, because he's dumb, but I love him. And he heard something. And so what he did, he turned around, he just took 3 pictures, click, 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 not in one area. He took one here, one here, one here, and they go about their business. He gets home, he starts reviewing the pictures, and lo and behold, turkey hunting. Okay, well, I'm sorry. He's out. Yeah, he's out there turkey hunting.
Yeah.
So You know, he's out there. He's out there researching, man. Doesn't matter. He could be out hunting squirrels. He's out there researching.
That's what he does.
Don't let
Yeah.
him, that's what he's doing. But this is what he captured. This is what he captured.
This one, guys, we've seen a lot of evidence on this show, but I always go back to this photo because it's just, I don't know what to do with it. But if you look real close, it's one creature, but he put it over to the side so you guys can make sure you see it there. But if you look really close, man, there's a set of eyes. Looks like a nose to me, some ears. Pretty scary stuff, man. And so that location is 15 minutes from downtown Knoxville. That is wild. That is absolutely wild to me. These things, man, you just don't know about these creatures or where they're going to be. I had a guy come on the show. It's been 7-8 months ago, and he's had encounters in Oklahoma City of all places, man, like legit inside of Oklahoma City. So who knows? But here's the first video we're going to pull up. I was not able to get a ton of information about these. Some of these I've got the location, but I believe this one this is the one I was not able to get the location or any information about this. I come across this, and let's watch this together, and then let me know what you guys think in the comments. But you're going to see a Bigfoot creature walking from the right side of the screen to the left. It looks like it's carrying something. So, and me and Daniel were reviewing this earlier, and it does remind me of Patty a lot. And if you see a shadow walking back and forth there, that's not Bigfoot, that's my dog. So anyways, here we go. That's pretty wild, man. What do you think?
Well, our resident lunatic, Harley, he knows all about this stuff, and I'd seen this one before. I didn't realize it was Independence Day footage. I did know that it picked up a juvenile. So I don't know the whole background of it, but I think it's pretty compelling. I'm not saying that it's not a hoax, but the motions are so fluid. A suit like that would have to weigh a lot.
Oh man.
So I think that a person wearing a suit like that would have a little more time trying to move like it did. But again, probability.
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead, man. Sorry.
I think I'm saying it's like 70-30, 70 yes, 30 hoax. I don't know. But again, I'd really have to see more of that footage from before where it picked up there and then where it ended. I'd want to see more of that. So,
dude, listen, and this is a great comment. I have to put this up here, guys.
That's hilarious.
You guys, I think I saw a new cryptid. It was a dog with pants, a Docker Spaniel. I love that. That's great. That is great.
My new favorite joke.
That's so great. Bree says she's not sure, never had an encounter. Also, guys, let us know if you've ever had an encounter. Let me know in the comments. We want to hear. Love to hear everybody's opinions. Some people are saying fallen angel. Some people are saying, can they be both flesh and blood? I switched between the ancient tribe, missing link, and the Nephilim. We're all taking educated guesses here. I don't think that any of us know for sure. AI, the movement looks so smooth. Taff, I believe that's an older video, and I don't think that was pre-AI.
That video, I believe, I want to say it's like 15 years old, maybe.
Wow. I was not able to hear much information about it, so it's good to hear everybody giving their thoughts on it and You know, because every time I sit here, it's a learning experience for me. I don't know about you, Daniel, but I always learn something. And we're never going to come on here, guys, and say we know everything. That's not, you know, I don't think there's anything as an expert. The closest thing to an expert maybe is Harley, because he spends so much time out in the field. But I always like to hear everybody's opinion and everybody here. I think we got, let's see here. Sam, I'd love to hear about your encounter, man. Said an encounter when he was 8 years old. If you want to email me or Daniel, you can reach me at mysteriesunknownpodcast@gmail.com or Daniel at
the Cryptid Podcast 72@gmail.com.
Yeah. Let us know. So there's that one. But, you know, I played this one on the last show, and I have to play it again because it's so intriguing to me. This was sent by one of our amazing members, Greasebag McQueen. You talking about moving fluidly? I personally think this is a dog man. I don't think it's Bigfoot. I think it's more dog man in my opinion, but it's just what I think. But let us know what you guys think. Man, that thing can move. Fluid.
Mm-hmm.
James says looks like a Bigfoot. Yeah, I mean, you know, it definitely could be. Who knows? These things are so strange. But Paul Power says, I think it's a Bigfoot from a different country. Yeah, it's from Russia. I think that's what that one was from. So Bo says Bigfoot. You know, man, my thing is, I know we mentioned that last time, but man, whoever was watching that kid should have grabbed him and put them behind him. That bothered me really bad when I saw that. I picked up on that. I didn't like that. But
yeah, my dad would have yoked me up real quick.
Yep. Gone.
You know what I noticed is that I'm not in the chat as my personal YouTube. I'm in the chat under my podcast YouTube. So there you go.
That's great. Hey, Sam, you might have, and I might have missed it, man. Hey, guys, that brings up a good point. If you've emailed me and I've not emailed you back, I am so far behind, but I promise you I will get to you. Let me put my banner up here so you can see it there. Just email me right there, and I will absolutely get back to you. It might take me, well, Daniel can tell me, I think it took me a month to get back to you the first time you emailed me.
Yep.
Yeah. So, yep. Let's see. I think Bigfoot is flesh and blood in the paranormal side. People trying to process what they're seeing. You know, I really think that these things are more flesh and blood. Here's my statement that I think that kind of fits is when they're flesh and blood, they're flesh and blood. When they're not, they're not. If Daryl is still here, guys, he has one of the most amazing encounters at a place called Owl Moon Labs. You're talking about some really strange, weird stuff. It's on my channel, and I think it's from Oregon, I believe. But man, it's such a wild thing that happened with him, and I just think that they've got to be more than that because of some of the things that they do. But I don't know, man. But it's good to hear everybody's opinions. You ready for another video, man, or you want to share a story?
No, I'm ready for another video.
All right. So this one, I was not able to get much information about this one, other than a guy took a GoPro and strapped it to the back of his dog, which I thought was really interesting. And so the dog's walking along, and you can see, if you look to the left of the screen, you can see some kind of bipedal creature that steps out across the trail. So pay really close attention. I think it slows down so you can see it and replays once, I think. Any of these videos that we're playing, guys, if you want us to play them again, just let us know in the comments. We get enough people asking, I'll replay it. So here we go. What'd you think? You want to watch it again?
No, I saw it.
Okay.
I'm just kind of. I watched it, and then I'm paying attention to the dog.
Yeah.
So, does it look convincing? Yes. The dog's reaction has me guessing otherwise.
Yeah, it didn't really do anything. Like, and it had to have seen it. Like, you could say, well, maybe you just didn't see it, but I don't know. And Taff, you're right. The dog didn't lose its ever loving mind, and for me, that was like a pretty big giveaway. And it was really convincing looking. I mean, because it did look real, but a dog would absolutely flip out. I mean, it would just flip out. So. Let's see. Daryl says, I have a video of peanut butter disappearing off a tree, and it looks like the predator eating thing. So that's so weird to me. I've heard several accounts of that, of the predator thing. I know we've talked about it quite a few times.
We have.
Matter of fact, let me see if I can find the audio clip. There's a lady that had a really similar instance happen to her. Here it is. Okay, so this lady is out and she's hunting, and she lives really close to, I guess, a high school because they're playing football or something in the background. She had this creature just do something really, really weird, but we'll play that. And since you brought that up, Daryl, this is a perfect spot to play that.
We have some great big trophy deer in Ohio, and we happen to have some of the biggest right here on our own property. It's the most beautiful night to deer hunt. It was the second day of season. I wanted to be getting my, run in the woods to hunt. I was really excited about it. There was band over at the high school. By the time I got to my deer stand, I could hear them. It was all settled in. Didn't see nothing coming down the pass. Trails of birds, crickets, everything were normal wood sounds. When you're hunting, you have two of your most keenest senses, is your hearing and your eyesight. All of a sudden, the woods went to this dead quiet. If I had dropped a pin out of that deer stand, it cut off. No birds, no crickets, no nothing. The sun's still up. We were not calling for bad weather that night. It was a great night to hunt. All of a sudden, I thought I had like a mote in my eye. I even took my finger and wiped my eye, like when you get that fogginess over your eye, like it's just. I look and I'm thinking, what is this thing in the trees? It looked like a large piece of saran wrap. It's the only way I can describe it. But this thing was very wide. So I'm up 14 foot and it hung quite a ways down. And I'm thinking, what is this thing? It didn't really scare me at that time until it moved and formed the arm that reached over to the other tree. It reached over about 12 to 14 foot, and then it all, like a blob, like sucked into it, and it went to the whole other tree. I had this very euphoric feeling like something ain't right here. Normally at that time I'd have probably got down and stopped hunting, but for some reason I didn't. As it was moving through the woods, it went from like tree to tree, and then it disappeared. It didn't continue on. So where it went, I don't know. It's like it just, right before my eyes, vanished. I don't recall actually when either that the sounds had returned. Because it's like I don't remember. That's not me to this day. Normally I would probably crawl down, come run in the house and say, you ain't gonna believe what's back there in them woods. We have some great big trophy deer in Ohio, and we happen to have some of the biggest right here on our own property.
I didn't know it was on a loop, but what do you guys think? Pretty crazy stuff. Pretty wild. I had a guy that I've been trying to get on the show for a while, and he had a kind of a really similar experience. Basically, this thing cloaked in front of him and ran off. Pretty wild stuff, involves the military, all kinds of crazy stuff. And maybe one of these days I'll get him on the show because it's definitely worth telling. But pretty crazy.
What are pogs?
What are pogs?
Yeah, because Foot Clan says I'm picturing the two hosts as sixth graders right now trading pogs, cracking up inside. I see your inner children. I don't know what a pog is.
So I never played with them, but it's some kind of like kind of how we used to have trading cards back in the day. It was some kind of game that they would do and trade stuff. But yes, you can tell when we start talking about this stuff, my inner child definitely comes out. We get excited about doing these lives and talking with you guys and talking about Bigfoot. So it's always fun stuff. But man,
Daniel saying me happy birthday on the Foot Clan channel. I love you, Dan. What? I'm lost. Foot Clan, I am lost. Is it your birthday?
He's saying that you sang him happy birthday on the Foot Clan channel.
What's the Foot Clan channel?
I have no idea.
I meant the local Sasquatch channel. What?
You're so much of a celebrity. You've been everywhere.
He's got me so mixed up.
So just so you know, guys, if you're wondering what's going on, if it's your birthday and you come on the show and you tell us, Daniel will sing you happy birthday. And sometimes he'll do it in a very Southern accent. So yeah. Anyways, you never know what you're going to get here, but we always have a great time. Just to catch you guys up, if you're just jumping on, we're going over lots of different video evidence, audio evidence, photo evidence, Bigfoot stuff. We're going to be going over some Bigfoot stories and encounters. Daniel's got a really incredible email that was sent to him that he's going to be reading and going over here in just a little bit. So you don't want to miss it if this is your first time. We appreciate everybody being here. A lot of new faces in the chat tonight, so we're just excited to have you all here. And good to see everybody. And Bigfoot reports, Daddy, you're right. He ain't got anything on your accent. That's great. That is good stuff. But let me see if I can get through this. I've got on the last show we didn't get to finish some of these encounters, but I had a story, if I can find it here. And this story is from Ohio. If I can find it, I will read it. Let's see here. Where is it at? I said that. No, I can't find it. Well, you can jump in anytime, Daniel.
Sure. I'm new here. Love learning about Bigfoot. Karen, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you coming in. Everybody that's new, thank you so much. Yeah. Oh, Rhode Island. I think it's the first person we've seen from Rhode Island.
Very cool. It's good to see everybody. So we're just excited to have everybody here. So I found that story. Yeah, we got them all over, man. We got somebody from Ontario, Canada. So all over the place, all over the states. I'm new here. Love learning about Bigfoot. I think you already said that. But and then we got some awesome members. Wade Fisher, Paw Power. He's always supporting the channel. So is Wade. You guys are awesome. Yeah, and make sure you hit the like button, share it. So I got a story for you guys if I can not fumble through this. So this is a Dogman encounter from Lucas County, Ohio. So it says, I've always been skeptical. I'm already messed up. Skeptical of cryptid stories. But after what I saw in 2018, I can't deny that these things are out there and that we just don't understand. I was driving home late one night after visiting a friend in Lucas County. It was one of those quiet, eerie nights where the world felt still, and the only sound was the hum of my car engine. The back roads cut through miles of endless cornfields, their stalks swaying slightly in the breeze, casting long shadows under the moonlight. There wasn't another car in sight, and the isolation was palpable. As I cruised along about 40 miles per hour, I caught a glimpse of something in my rearview mirror. At first, I thought it was just the tick of the light or maybe a stray coyote running along the road behind me. It wasn't unusual to see wildlife out there, but as I kept glancing back, I realized that whatever it wasn't behaving like an animal I'd ever seen. It wasn't just darting across the road or moving erratically. It was keeping pace with my car. I started to get nervous. I pressed the gas pedal a little harder, bumping my speed up to 50, then 55 miles per hour. Then to my shock, it was still there, running effortlessly. My heart began to pound as I realized this wasn't normal. No coyote or deer could have kept up with a car like that. I couldn't make out much detail yet, just a dark blur from the distance. But the way it moved sent a chill down my spine. Its stride was almost too fluid, too deliberate, like it was more than an animal. It was a predator, and I hit the brakes thinking that maybe I could scare it off or at least get a better look at what I was dealing with. The car screeched to a stop, and for a moment, the road was silent again. But then I saw it dart into the cornfield, the tall stalk swaying up instantly. I sat there in the middle of the road, gripping the steering wheel so tightly my knuckles turned white. My rational mind was scrambling for an explanation, but it was just a large dog, I thought. Maybe my eyes were playing tricks on me, but deep down, I knew better. Just as I thought I was about to convince myself to keep going, I saw movement in the stalks. At first, it was subtle, a rustling, like the wind passing through. But then it came more pronounced, more deliberate, as if something was pushing its way through the rows of corn. My breath caught my throat as the creature stepped onto the road. Under the glare of my headlights, I got my first real look at it, and I'll never forget what I saw. It stood upright on two legs with muscular, almost humanoid body covered in short, dark fur. Its arms were long, ending in what looked like clawed hands. But it was the head that froze me in terror. It was unmistakably canine, like a wolf or a German shepherd, but twisted, sinister. Its muzzle was elongated and its teeth sharp and glistening. It bared a menacing snarl. The eyes were the worst part, and a natural glowing yellow that seemed to pierce right through me, radiating malice. It began walking towards my car, slow and deliberate, as if it knew it had all the time in the world. I swear I could feel its hatred, its intent to harm, like terrible force pressing against me. My instinct screamed at me to get out, but I was frozen, paralyzed by the sheer presence of this thing. It tilted its head slightly, almost as if it was studying me, and then it bared its teeth even wider, letting out a low guttural growl that rumbled into my chest. I finally stepped out of my daze and threw the car in reverse, trying to get some distance between us. My tires squealed as I backed up, but before I could react, it lunged forward, slamming its claws or paws into the hood of my car. The force of impact was so strong, it left deep dents in the metal. I screamed. The sound echoed inside the car, but the creature didn't flinch. It just stared at me through the windshield, its glowing eyes locked on mine. I floored the gas pedal, swerving wildly to avoid hitting it, and sped down the road as fast as I could. My heart was pounding so hard I thought it might burst, and my hands were shaking uncontrollably. In my rearview mirror, I could see it standing in the middle of the road, watching me go. Its yellow eyes were the last thing I saw before I ran in the corner and left the field, or left it behind. I think I read that last time, so I might have accidentally read another one, but I read the same story twice, but that's pretty scary. That's guys why I always say stay prayed up. It is so important to do that. So that's why.
Man, this chat is just kicking off. I love it.
Yeah, man, everybody's having a good time.
Yeah.
But
yes, Vincent, I did. I saw one in 1989. It was the summer before my senior year of high school. So they're talking about the rake.
Oh yeah. That's an incredible story. His that story's on my channel, guys. You need to go check it out. Pretty wild.
I never want to see one that honestly that.
Mm-mm.
Man, that's
nope.
Sounds like pure fiction.
Listen, everybody can have their opinion.
Yeah. Bree wants to know how to become a member.
Okay, guys. So there's a couple things you can do. You can become a member by, if you're watching on a desktop right now, at the very bottom, there's a button you can click that says join. I have several different tiers. So you can do that, or you can become a Patreon member. And if you guys will give me a second, I will get a link over so you guys can click on that link and check it out. Just got the Patreon up and going, so it's new, but we'll be posting a lot of different stuff on that. A lot of different updates, previews of guests coming on the show, things like that. But it's patreon.com/mysteries unknown, or you can become a member right here. It allows us to keep doing this. You know, we drop a brand new episode every single Monday about people's real encounters, where they come on and they tell their stories. And then every Thursday we do a live, and then it just gives us the ability to keep doing this. But I'm very grateful for everybody that's here and supporting me. So, but guys, also too, this channel would not be here without my co-host Daniel, and he never forces things or whatever, but he doesn't like to promote himself as much as he should. But man, tell him about your channel for people that are just jumping on here. So
Okay, I'll do it. No,
Okay.
honestly, I'm just gonna come just straight out and say, honestly, you guys, if it wasn't for Josh pushing me, and if it wasn't for a lot of people in here, Amity, Harley, Wade, um, Michelle, just a lot of people that believed in me, I wouldn't have started my channel. My channel is the Cryptid Podcast. It's on YouTube. It's also on Spotify. Wyatt, thank you so much. I'm over 1,200 subscribers. I'm just dumbfounded on how quick it grew. I didn't think that this was going to kick off like Josh's did. And right now I'm at 297,000. No, I'm just kidding. I wish. I am currently at 1,248 subscribers. And I love doing this, you guys. It's fun. I enjoy talking with everybody. I try to put out content every Monday and Wednesday. I'm kicking around the idea of doing a live. I'll probably do my first live as solo, just try to see what, how that goes. Josh and I are actually working together on a website where both of you guys, or you guys could go to one place, find both of our material. He's already got some merch. I'm in the process of designing some merch, and and I'm thinking about putting a membership on my channel. I don't know. I don't think that I'm good enough to get you guys to join my show as a member. I just enjoy you guys coming on and watching the content, leaving a like or share, anything like that. So again, it's the Cryptid Podcast. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy spending time with you guys. And if you want to send me an email, if you have an account or a story, you can hit me up at thecryptidpodcast72@gmail.com.
He's a good guy, and he's very humble, guys, but he's become a brother to me. We are absolutely brothers. We talk every single day, and absolutely get on there and support him. This stuff takes time, and to put forward and put a show and the consistency that we're doing, it takes a lot of time and work, and we love every minute of it. But every little subscriber, every person subscriber, every member, every as small as you think a like is, it means more to us than you would know. So just give us support. We really appreciate it. I know you guys are here for stories and Bigfoot, but we want you guys to know we appreciate the community and everybody hanging out with us. So yeah, man. Why don't you lay a little bit of backstory about what you're getting ready to read? For those people who don't know, I can go ahead and show that video from Steamboat.
Okay, so let me preface the email that I'm going to read. It was a series of emails over a day or so. So I kind of tried to piece them together as best I could. The video that you're going to show, this is from one of our members, one of our friends. He quickly became a good friend of mine. Steamboat. He's not in the chat right now. Usually he is, but hey, he'll be okay. Yeah, I know where Steamboat. He's got some stuff going on right now that he's trying to work out. But rest assured, I just talked to him the other day. He's doing good. He's okay. He's alive. He's doing his thing. So he sent me a message, and he's like, Daniel, you got to call me like right now. I got something that's going to blow your mind. And so I called him, and I called him just as I got into my driveway, and he goes, can you watch what I'm going to send you? I'm like, sure, not a problem. So he sends it to me, and literally it's only a 35 second video. It's of a camera that's 25 feet up in the peak of a roof in the backside of a house. It's about 100 feet away from this fence. Steamboat has been to this location. He has said the fence is roughly 8 feet tall. It's a privacy fence because there's a pool in the backyard. Now, this happened the night after Thanksgiving, I believe. This person reached out to Steamboat, like, hey, I've got something going on in my backyard. I'm not sure what it is. I'm going to move my camera to see if I can catch what's going on. He moves the camera. He was having issues with raccoons. Those old shelves that you find in like the old refrigerators that are all metal, all steel. He welded a bunch of these together and used like these cable locks to lock them down, super secure. This guy was a bigger guy, so he stood on this live trap that he made, and it held his weight no problem. Like, it didn't bend, it didn't do anything like that. It didn't have anything standing on it. He puts it out into the back part of his property behind the fence. Go ahead and roll that film.
All right, let me get it pulled up here, guys.
Now, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to watch from left to right, and then it goes back to the left. Pay attention to the shadow that's on the left-hand side of this video, and then after it, I'll tell you exactly what happened.
That video is crazy, man.
So what you guys saw here, from the left, you're going to see a shadow, and it's obviously, people think what you're looking at is a shadow of somebody walking. Yes, something is walking. You're right, Colonel. You're exactly right. The dog whining is what sells it. This dog is aware that something is out there, and it sees it. What happened is this Sasquatch walked from the left over to the right, bent down. You see it bent down, it stands back up, and then it walks back. Now, what it had done is it took that live trap there was a raccoon. There was a full-grown adult raccoon in that trap. It peeled that trap open like a sardine can, reached in, grabbed that raccoon, and then walked off.
Wow.
I posted it on my TikTok channel, and I'm sitting at almost 50,000 views with that. This guy has had issues with it. I spoke with Steamboat just this week, and this Sasquatch is not leaving the area. He is in that area. He visits that area a lot. And apparently it's trying to communicate with the owners of the house. He has let it known that his name is Samson. That's what he calls it. And I don't know this to be true. This is what's being relayed to me. I'd like to talk to the owner of that house to see what I can find out. So,
yeah, it's pretty crazy stuff, man. That is pretty wild. I do have to give a shout out real quick, man. Taft the Wanderer just sent over a super chat, and I appreciate him so much, man. What an amazing guy. Amazing community. You guys are all awesome. I had to throw that out there. So, Howie, man, thank you so much. That means so much. You guys have no idea. It's such an odd feeling, but it means a lot to me. I do not take any of that for granted. None of this could happen without you guys. What an amazing community. Thank you so much. I'll say thank you. It's all I know what to say. So thank you for that. That means a lot. That means a whole lot. So thanks.
Justin is friends with Steamboat and knows the individual of that house as well. And he says it's the
Wow.
gentleman's wife that Samson is communicating with. And I didn't know how much more I should get into it, but from what I'm understanding is that Samson, the Sasquatch, is trying to communicate with the husband, and he's just not picking up, you know. And apparently, Steamboat's going to go out there and try to communicate with him as well. So
I'm curious
Justin,
to see. I talked to him earlier today.
Justin, are you going to go out with Steamboat? That's awesome, man.
That is
that
cool.
super sticker was up there.
Yeah, that's cool. That's very cool. We hope you guys are enjoying doing this as much as we are and having as much fun as we are. So this story with Steamboat is really incredible. And it brings up a good point because, he reached out and was not afraid to come forward and to talk about this. So it's really important. If you're sitting on a story that you want to share with either me or Daniel, please send it to us. It won't go any further unless you want it to. But man, why don't you go ahead, since we laid the foundation, and get into that, into the rest of the story. Okay,
so this is from the same area that Steamboat and I'm going to say Justin is from as well.
Yeah.
Now, this person did not let on that he knows Steamboat, but he watched the episode on my channel and felt compelled to email me to pretty much say, hey, what he's saying is really happening. What he said happened, really happened. He wishes to remain 100% anonymous. I asked him, whereabouts can I put down? And he's like, you can say Douglasville, Texas. So our story starts. Our strange encounters began in April of 2017, shortly after returning to this property. My grandparents originally bought this land in 1964. I'm sorry. And I spent most of my summers here with them until they passed. Between 1983 and 1987, I lived there. I live here myself before moving away due to a declining job market. From the mid-90s, my uncle took over the property, and he stayed there for a while, working shutdowns at the nearby paper mill. However, during this time, unsettling activities began. I later learned from my aunt that something happened to my uncle that terrified him so much he quit his job and left the property, never to return. My aunt only shared that he called her one day saying he was coming home for good and he would never set foot on that property again. To this day, I've never gotten the full story about what happened. In 2018, my aunt called and offered the property to me, and I've been here ever since. It started innocently enough with my wife mentioning loud noises she's heard during the day. A sound like she likened to a giant elk. At the time, I dismissed it, as I worked long hours from 2 a.m. to 5 p.m., and I never heard any sounds myself. But over the weeks, her reports persisted, and unease began to settle in. That fall, the activity escalated. We started hearing heavy footsteps circling in our houses late at night. Our dogs, typically fearless and quick to bark at anything, would howl and then go eerily quiet. Things would huddle together on the porch, growling low, their hackles raised, refusing to venture out into the yard. When we investigated, we found nothing out of the ordinary. Occasionally, something would hit the side of our mobile home with such force that it jolted us awake from a deep sleep. Again, there were those heavy footsteps, always just out of sight, leaving no trace by the time we stepped outside. During the day, strange behavior from our dogs continued. On weekends, while mowing the lawn, I noticed them sitting in the tents it says tents, but in a fence line facing the woods. They would growl and whine softly. The hair on their backs of their necks would be standing on end. These were hunting dogs, animals unafraid of hogs or deer or anything else in the woods. Yet whatever lurked there during these times left them quivering in fear. This pattern continued through 2019 and 2020, an undercurrent of tension that we could not explain. In the fall of 2020, the woods began to reveal more tangible signs. We discovered peculiar structures made of pine saplings, X shaped formations, nests, and large pressed down areas as though something massive had been laying there. Late at night, we started hearing distant whooping echoes through the trees. One day, while walking my dogs down a fire lane to a creek about a quarter mile from my house, I found something that made me catch my breath. Embedded in the bank of the creek was a footprint unlike anything I had ever seen. It resembled a human's, but with a strangely narrow instep and toes that tapered into claw-like impressions. The print was roughly 15 inches long. Unfortunately, I had no way to document it at this time. As if that weren't strange enough, on the return journey home, I found saplings bent across the trail in multiple places, forming natural barricades that hadn't been there earlier. Curiously, my dogs showed no fear as we passed through without incident. The peculiar noises and unsettling footsteps persisted, but things took a dramatic turn in the fall of 2022. Screams, howls, guttural growls began to emanate from the woods with increasing frequency. Sometimes the sounds came from just inside the tree line near the edge of our property by the lake. Our dogs started disappearing without a trace. Then early one morning, a scream erupted so loud and forceful that it seemed to shake the very walls of our mobile home. It was a deep, resonating roar that lasted for 15 to 20 seconds before repeating over and over and over for nearly 15 minutes. When daylight came, we ventured outside but found only snapped branches and an unnerving silence. That winter, my son visited us. One night, he heard the creature's chilling cries coming from the direction of the lake. We both listened for about 30 minutes before he decided to drive to the boat ramp to investigate further. When he returned, his van roared up the driveway, and he jumped out pale and frantic. "I saw it! I saw it! I swear I saw it!" he exclaimed, barely able to form a coherent sentence. After an hour, he finally calmed down enough to describe what he had witnessed. At the boat ramp, illuminated by his headlights, he saw a massive dark figure about 8 feet tall standing near the picnic tables. Its body was covered in dark hair, but his face was grayish color. With a wide nose and glowing red eyes that reflected in light, its arms were similarly covered in hair, but his hands were the same grayish tone as his face. The creature stared at him for a moment before bolting off into the trees. A few weeks later, we returned to the creek with some friends. There, in the middle of the creek bed, we found an enormous footprint. Near our house, we discovered 3 distinct sets of prints that varied in sizes. One was 22 inches, another 19, and the third 13. The tracks appeared to come from the direction of the creek, heading west towards the power lines clearings that ran north to south at the end of the lake. During the winter of 2022 and 2023, because of the intensity of the volume of occurrences, we placed a game camera facing the front of our property, which is facing north towards Lake Wright-Patman. There is approximately 1 mile of dense forest between our home and the lake. Upon setting up the game camera, we discovered that whatever these creatures are, they can detect and avoid the game camera in the darkness. 2 instances stand out. First, a creature approached the game camera from the rear and let out a menacing low growl. Though it triggered the camera, the footage only showed the area in the front. Second, something tripped the camera as it faced the fire lane, capturing a shadowy silhouette standing just out of range of the camera's illumination. Its eye shine, visible when it blinked, gave away its presence. Based on the height of the eye shine compared to a nearby tree, we estimate it to be 8 to 9 feet tall. Despite relocating the camera multiple times, similar results occurred. Nothing clear, only hints that these creatures are intelligent and avoid direct exposure to cameras' infrared signals. One encounter experienced by both my wife and me happened at the boat ramp at Jackson Creek. We had been fishing all afternoon, and the sun was just setting. It was still above the tree line, giving us maybe an hour or so of daylight left. I decided to move east towards the dense tree line on the opposite side of the boat ramp from my wife. As I cast my line, I heard something behind me. The sound of heavy footsteps crunching fallen leaves and sticks. Every time I turned around, the sound stopped. After a few minutes of this, I decided it was time to pack up. Whatever it was made the hair on the back of my neck stand on end. Using the trees for cover, it was clear something was avoiding being seen. As my wife and I loaded the last of our gear into the car, a low, long, menacing growl rumbled from the woods. We both froze, staring at each other to confirm we'd heard the same thing. Slowly, we edged the car, opened the car doors, my eyes scanning the wood line as my wife got inside. I followed quickly, started up the car, and we left. Though we never saw the source of the growl, its depth and menacing convinced us to change our fishing habits to morning and early afternoons, avoiding the area at dusk. Shortly after my son's sighting, another incident left us shaken. It was around 1 or 2 a.m., and my wife and I were watching TV and chatting. The dogs on the back porch began whining and growling before going completely silent. These unusual nighttime sounds of frogs and crickets, they vanished, leaving it eerily still. We muted the TV and listened intently. Then we heard it, a distinct wooden creak, as if something heavy had stepped onto the front porch. The front door was only about 6 feet from where we sat. It has a 1/4-inch gap at the bottom, allowing light from the porch to seep through. We saw a shadow pass quickly across the gap. The dogs resumed their whining and growling, but refused to leave the back porch. I rushed to the door and opened it, but whatever had been there was gone. The air was filled with a pungent stench of a mixture of rotting garbage, wet dog, and skunk. A sweep of the yard with a flashlight revealed nothing, and unusually the dogs did not come around to the door as they would normally do. The next morning, we tried to recreate the creak we heard by walking across the porch. At 230 pounds, I could not produce the same sound. My son and I, with the combined weight of nearly 500 pounds, tried jumping on the porch, but even that didn't replicate the noise. The porch, framed with 2x8s and floored with 2x6s, remained solid. Aside from the lingering stench, there was no evidence of what had just visited us that night.
Man, that's some wild stuff.
Yep.
That's some really. So that was several emails sent to you over the course of a day, right?
Yeah, like about day and a half. Steamboat's in. What's up, Steamboat?
Yeah, I saw him. What's up, buddy? Good to see you.
I was just reading that series of emails that that person from the same area as you told us his encounters.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Pretty wild. It's a wild world, and it makes you wonder why these things sometimes stick to a certain area or stay in a certain area. Why do you think that is, man? Because sometimes they migrate through, but then other times they just kind of seem to hang around. What do you think that? Why do you think they do that?
Convenience, honestly.
Yeah.
If you think about it, they're gonna stay around an area the most they're gonna what I'm trying to say, dang it. They're gonna try to make the most of their time in an area. So if there's an abundance of food, abundance of water, they're opportunists. So there's no doubt in my mind that if there's crops anywhere that they can take, they're going to take them. If there's food
Yeah.
source like animals such as chickens, pigs, goats, sheep, dogs, cats, they're
gonna take
gonna
'em.
they're gonna take them. So
Yeah.
so if they have it the easy life in an area, they're gonna stay. They're gonna stay in that area, and it's like Steamboat said, a protected land. If they know there's no hunting allowed in there,
Right.
there's no like motorized vehicles of any kind in there. They're gonna. I think they're gonna stay pretty much stay down.
That makes sense. That does make sense. And I guess they're opportunists. So sometimes they'll migrate through to another area if not. And I guess that would make sense why they would stay in one area if it's convenient and easy. I don't know if you guys saw the video I dropped on Monday, but Wyatt, I don't know if Wyatt's still here or not. But he came on the show and he's had several encounters in Arkansas. But one of the weirdest things, the photo is so odd to me. And this something, took a deer carcass and strung it up over a tree and just kind of laid it the way it was laid out. I can't really describe it. I don't have the photo in here or I'd share it with everybody, but it is so strange. Just really weird, but crazy stuff, man. Well, I got another video here to show everybody. What was the last one? Was the dog, right? With the GoPro?
Yes.
On the back of its neck. All right. I think I have the information from this one. I think I was able to find. So this was happened in British Columbia on an old logging road. That's the only information I was able to find. But check this out, guys. Let me know what y'all think. What do you think, Daniel?
I think it's massive.
Right. But it wasn't as broad.
massive.
It wasn't as broad as the one that that was the one we just talked about, man. It wasn't near as broad, but it was big. Really, really big. British Columbia, man, there's a lot of stuff going on there. Steamboat, It does to me too, man. It does look real to me.
Absolutely.
Guys, like Daniel said earlier, we're not sitting here with any of this stuff saying, oh, that's 100% Bigfoot, but could it be? Yeah, 100%. Wade, yeah, definitely big and hairy for sure. So that one's pretty wild to me when I saw that one. So let's see, that thing was huge. Yeah, pretty long stride. I couldn't tell what it was doing. It looked like at one point it was swinging at something to me. I don't know if you caught that or not. But
did you see it step down? Yeah, absolutely. I saw it step down. That's crazy. Do you still have the one that I sent to you where these guys were well over a mile away and they saw this thing literally running up like a 45-degree?
Yeah,
Do you still have that one?
I do have it. Let me see if this is the one. It's either going to be this one or the one below it. So we'll try this one first. I think this might be it.
There's something wandering across the face of that. There's something wandering across the face of that.
Dude, that thing is moving. I mean, it is.
This is one, because I sent you another one. I don't know if you still have that one, similar to that one. This is the only time you're going to hear me say that is 100% a Sasquatch.
Yeah.
It's going up a 45-degree slope in deep snow, and it is moving.
There's no way a human can do that.
When I was younger, I used to do cross-country skiing and snowshoeing. I'm telling you, I was in good shape, and there's no way on level ground that I could move that fast in snow.
Nope. No way. There's no way. Then that's the thing, guys. Like, what do you do with that kind of evidence? Like, other than say, well, it's got to be like, what else could it be? Right? That's no human. That's no human at all. At all. So check this one out. And everybody's probably seen this one. Provo Canyon. I'm not sure what year, but this was in Utah. I think they were out hiking. I think that's the one I'm fixing to show. I might have got that wrong. Yeah, here it is. Okay, check this out. Did you see that way that thing just stood up? Like, it was like, you know what I mean? Like, it was like, man.
At first, I thought it was a black bear. Like, legit. I mean,
I know.
I've seen black bear. I've seen grizzly. When I see wild animals just in general, I get excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, look at that. Oh my goodness. And then all of a sudden it just stands up like that. I'm like, that's not a black bear.
That's no bear. That's no bear. Like, what?
Exactly, Sherry.
Yeah. Until it stood up.
I'm like,
It was huge.
That's not a bear.
No way, man. And the confidence that thing stood up with too, man. Like, the way it stood up is just like, I'm here, I'm the boss. Yeah, they thought it was a bear, Pawpaw. Yeah, they did. And it did look like a bear at first until it did that. And I was like, nope, that's about the time I would be gone out.
Do you still have that other one that I sent you from where they see this thing way at a distance? They're like a mile and a half, 2 miles away.
Yeah, I think so. Check this one out, guys. No way that's a person.
No.
No way.
And then I saw another one similar to this today. And for some reason, I thought the one I saw today was this one, but it's not.
Mhm.
It's a similar one. These guys, again, they're way up in an area like this, and they see this thing, and it's where it's walking down. It's all like rock and like big boulders and stuff, and it's moving down. And they're like, "Look at this guy! Look at this guy! It's like a mile away." And they yell, they go, "Hey!" like that, and it stops,
Mm-mm.
and it looks up at him, and then it kicked in. It didn't run off, but it started moving a lot faster. And the guys were like, "That's weird. If that's a person, they would at least waved and yelled back at us." But one, how did he get down there?
Yeah.
And why is it continue to go that way? Because it's not going to be easy to get back up. So yeah, it's crazy.
Crazy.
Bree,
Hey, we got a shout out to a new member real quick. Rick, welcome aboard, man. I appreciate the support, Rick. Good to see you here, buddy. Thank you so much, man. Glad you found the channel, man.
So, Bree, can you bring it up and like pause it and like unmute my mic?
It won't let me pause it.
Okay.
But I can play it and unmute your mic, so we'll do that. Let me go back up here to it. I guess I lied. It wouldn't let me.
Yeah. Okay. So if you were looking kind of like in the center of the picture and then off to the left a little bit, it's a tiny little dot at first. They zoomed in to their maximum magnification and it wasn't getting any bigger, but it was walking from left to right. And then for some reason it stopped and then went back up to the left. And then you'll see like a rock outcropping that's between like near the middle of the screen and to the left of the screen. And it's walking up on the left-hand side, up towards the left-hand side, up through the snow area. So
pretty wild. So the southern one, guys, we're going to go right from that to warm weather. And so Howie, real quick, there should be a button underneath the video if you're watching on the desktop where you can click and become a member. So that's awesome, guys. Thank you for the support. This one is happened in looks like it's in Florida, in Lettuce Lake Park, Florida. Guy called it what they called a skunk ape, and the guy was out in a kayak out there and he captured this. It almost looks like a bear. You got to look really close to see it, but check this out. You really got to look, but what other part, like what's a bear going to be doing out there in the swamp like that anyways?
That didn't even look like a bear to me, man. I'm telling you, it was bending down, picking up something. And then that guy started making a lot of racket in his boat. And that's when it started moving. And if you looked, it looked like it was moving towards the boat.
Yep. No, thank you. No, thank you.
Nope.
And for you guys who can't get into the membership or have, sometimes if you're on your phone, we'll let you. You can also check me out at Patreon at patreon.com/mysteries unknown. Got some cool stuff going to be, I just opened that up, but we got some stuff going to be going over there. So anyways, I got another video. We got some good evidence. Now this one I've seen, it's been around for quite a while, but this happened in Prince Edward Island in 2005. Students were out filming and there's a guy that you're going to see and he's going to come running towards the camera. That's actually on purpose. He wasn't running from what he saw. It's just basically they were filming a project and then he ran and then this thing come jetting across the screen. So check this out. Let me know what you guys think.
What the? Dude, holy. Did you see that?
What do you think? I mean,
no. At first I thought it was a bear. And then it showed it a second time. Like, yeah, that's a bear. Then the third time it was slowed down and you see its arms kicking back.
Yeah.
Like,
it's pretty wild.
No.
Yep. Thanks. And I bet that added just a little bit of fuel to that guy running, but he probably didn't even know something was back there, you know. His buddy's like, hey, you might want to run a little bit faster. So Hey, somebody brought it to my attention that they're having a hard time getting as a member because they have an iPhone, I think, or Apple. So if you're having issues like that, go to your desktop and then you can join as a member from your desktop. For some reason, it won't let you do it from an iPhone. So I don't know why that is, but anyways,
that's why I have an Android.
come on. We're not going to go there here on this channel. There'll be a divide, and we're not going to do that here. So listen. This one really gets Daniel every time I play it. So I'm going to play it. But there's a guy, I don't know much about him, Mike Patterson. I think this is the guy. He supposedly is having a conversation with the Bigfoot creature. Really weird. It weirds me out, but it's some really strange audio. I'm not saying it's real. You guys can make your own conclusions to that, but check this out. Let me know what you guys think.
Brother.
Nope. Not listening to it.
What?
Daniel hates it. He won't listen to it. But what do you guys think about that? Like, it could be who knows what, right? But supposedly he's got that reputation where he's talking to this Bigfoot creature, and I don't know. It's really strange to me. But
I will not listen to that. You can giggle all you want, and everybody in here can laugh if they want. That, like, it causes me anxiety. I feel it right here in my chest. Like, for real, that scares the crap out of me, for real.
I know that one bothers you, man. You can listen to the Dogman encounter that we play all the time with the lights off, but that one gets you. So, so this one I got for you, man, because I came across this, and it's in Michigan, so it's kind of up in your neck of the woods. But basically, it's an eagle trail cam that they have at it's the Pleiade River State Park. And so if you look real close, when I start to play the video, over to the right side, so you'll see the eagle's nest. And to the right, you'll see something moving, and then they zoom in on that. But there's something that moves all around that nest that they caught. So pretty crazy. Watch this, guys, and let us know what you think. That sucker's got some girth, man.
Yeah, that's
you can see the legs and stuff, how wide that is. I mean, sure, it could be a suit, but they're not. I mean, who's going to go out? I just don't. Why? You know what I mean? So
I almost had a Michael Scott moment when you said something. I just had to stop.
You better stop.
I just had to stop.
That's a good thing to do, man. That's
a
good.
My God.
Good. Hold it together, Daniel. Hold it together. Hold it together, man.
I've never seen that video.
That's a cool one. I hadn't either till today. I was doing some research and I come across that, and I knew that was close to your neck of the woods, so I had to do that. Speaking of that, man, I know you've briefly talked about it, but Dogman always comes up on this channel. I don't know, you saw something pretty weird over in the Michigan area, but why don't you tell people that are listening, if you're open to it, your dad's experience with a werewolf, what he says is a werewolf, man. If you're open to talk about it.
Sure. So I don't remember if it was right before he left for basic training or right before he went to his first duty assignment, like to do his training before he went to Vietnam. Okay. So this is up in Alaska. It was Ketchikan area. And my dad growing up was an avid hunter and avid fisherman. And he told me one day that he saw a werewolf. And I'm like, what? You didn't see no werewolf? And he's like, I did. My dad was a no nonsense guy. He's not going to talk just to hear himself talk. He was driving down this old logging road, and he saw this herd of elk come off of like this hillside off to his left. They came down, and he said there was probably about 20 of them, and they came shooting across. They were good about 100 yards ahead of him. He stops his truck or stops his vehicle, gets out, and he's walking up this road because there's still elk coming across. When the last one comes across, he takes off. He gets to the area where he saw him go down across the road, then down this other hillside, down into like a ravine area or a gulch or a gully, whatever you want to call it. And they started moving up the other side, the other ridge. He gets out his little binoculars. He didn't have big ones, just smaller binoculars. And he's scanning back and forth. And as he scans from the left to the right, he locks on some of the elk, but then something caught his attention when he kind of pulled his glasses away. He saw something coming to the left, from the left to the right, where the elk were. So he brings his binoculars back up and he looks, and he goes, Daniel, I saw the biggest, blackest wolf I had ever seen in my life. And it just kept going, and then it stopped, and it stood up on its hind legs, put its hand, he said hand, on the tree it was stopped next to, and it started sniffing the air. And it was looking around. At first he was sniffing, he was looking at the elk, but then all of a sudden he started looking around. And as my dad's watching it with his binoculars, it looked right at my dad. Showed its teeth, and then dropped down on all fours. When it dropped down on all fours, it went down. My dad lost it. He brought up his rifle, and he started scoping down in the area, and he caught it in his scope, and it was moving, like making a straight line right to him. About that time, the bull elk in this herd let out this huge bugle, and it stopped this thing in its tracks, looked at my dad, looked back where the elk were going up over the other hillside, ran back up towards the elk, stood back up on a tree, like with his hand up on a tree, looked at my dad again, showed his teeth, and then ran off on 2 feet up the hill, chasing where the elk went. My dad said he got his stuff, ran to his vehicle, turned it around, and went back into town. And from that time on, he never went back out in that area. But he swore till the day that he died that he saw a werewolf.
No, thank you, man. No, thank you. I just, nope. That's just so, I don't know. And my dad's like your dad, like your dad was, like just straightforward. If he tells you something, he's no nonsense. He's not going to make, you know what I mean? And it's just like, but your dad's very fortunate, in my opinion, to have made it out of that alive, man. That's a scary situation to be in. I don't know, man.
I have no idea. I mean, if you think about it, you put yourself in the if you put yourself in the shoes of the werewolf or the dog man, are you going to go for the easy meal, or are you going to go for one of the elk? And I'm just thankful that it decided it wanted an elk. I think maybe that it's my dad was armed, and maybe he's like, maybe I better not mess with that. But yeah, nope, not at all.
That's why, and I catch flack sometimes from people because I always talk about missing 411 people and these things being part of that. But you can't help but think about that could have went exactly the other way.
Mm-hmm.
And how many people, yeah, sure, there's people that wander off in the woods and they make stupid decisions and they get caught in the weather and whatever. But me and you both know these things are real. We both have had encounters with these things. Whether they're animal, more than flesh and blood, whatever they are, you run into the wrong one, that's probably going to be the last thing you see. And it just makes me wonder how often that happens. But man, your dad, from what you've told me, was an extremely brave man. And for him to not want to go back out in the woods, man, that really had to have, shaken him up pretty bad. So
my dad was my dad was a bad ass, dude. Like, he really was. In Vietnam, he was a tunnel rat, EOD specialist, 101st Airborne. Like, he was a bad dude, man. Did 2 tours in Vietnam.
Man. Well, men like that are just, we need more of that. We need more people like that today. But see, Wyatt says, if one eats me in the woods, I'm at least going to be a spicy meal. Wow. That's great. That's great, man. That is great. Guys, he was the guest on the show Monday. If you've not checked out that episode, go check it out. We got some more evidence to cover here. Now, this one is really unique to me. It looks a lot different than anything we've seen so far. I come across this. Only thing I could find is this thing was from California, where it was captured. I couldn't find any other information. So if you guys know about this video or know the information or anything at all, please let us know in the chat. So check this out. All right, man. Always got to hear your thoughts.
Well, first I thought it was just someone in a suit. I mean, it does. It looks like, White says, look at those arms. To me, they looked over exaggerated at first, and then how it reached back and like slapped like a tree or sapling or something out of its way to go through.
Yeah.
Again, I'm on the fence of that one, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, it could be either one. And the thing for me, that one looks a lot different than the other ones you see. It doesn't look like Patty, And I know a lot of times people say that they're longer, shaggier hair, but who knows, man? I'm always thinking, like, why did somebody have a camera point in that direction? What were they doing? Like, why were they filming there? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's different than the one you had where they saw something way off somewhere, then they pick up the camera and film. Like that one, the camera was there, and then they just walked through. But I don't know. It was pretty wide, man. That's a big guy. So I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't know how to pronounce this person's name. The part of its spirit. Look at the bulk in those shoulders. I can show you some pictures of women, in particularly back in the 80s and maybe early 90s, when they had those shirts and suits that had those shoulder pads in them. So, I mean, you can take it for what it's worth, but yeah.
It's great. I guess Bigfoot went back to the 80s and got him a suit jacket, man.
Yeah. Hey, Howie, good night, buddy. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, again, I'm 50-50 on that one. I'm on the fence, so I'm not really going to say, but I knew some girls in high school that had those built-in shoulder pads in their shirts and jackets or whatever. They look like linebackers.
That's great. I think you've probably seen this next one. This one's from April 5th, 2009. It's called The Beast of Gum Hill. I think that's in Virginia, I want to say. Have you heard of it?
Mm-mm.
So there's a guy, he's riding a four-wheeler. And so if you guys watch, he goes past the guy on the four-wheeler, and you see what looks like to be a Bigfoot come running across the creek. It slows down kind of towards the end of the video. You've seen it. Yeah, you've seen it. Most people have, but check it out. Let me know what you guys think. That one's always intrigued me. It's always intrigued me.
Do you want to know what was going through my mind when I saw that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me know if I want to give that guy a ticket and a fine for riding that 4-wheeler in that river. Like, for real.
What, you guys don't ride 4-wheelers in rivers there?
Why would you want to mess up that ecosystem?
Dude.
Gas and oil dripping off into no. I would write him a ticket. I would arrest him.
Here in Arkansas, I mean, that's just what we do. I mean, that's what we do here. I mean, that's what everybody does.
That's why the Mississippi that comes down your guys' area looks like poo water, and up here with me, the headwaters, it's all crystal clear.
Hey, listen, the Arkansas River comes through from Colorado. Super clear, crisp water. It's not so much clear when it gets here, but yeah. No, I mean, that's what I grew up doing, man. But
yeah, you rednecks.
I did, right? So I've never heard of this guy until I come across this video. We've got a couple more evidence stuff to show you guys, but there's a gentleman by the name of Paul Freeman. Apparently he's a Bigfoot researcher. I'd never heard of him.
What?
Yeah, I've never heard of him.
Please tell me you're going to show the one I think you're going to show, because it is amazing.
We'll see. Check it out.
Oh, there he goes. Two of them, I guess. Man. Oh. I wonder where they went.
This dude is legit. I don't know if he's still alive, but I think his sons have something to do with this footage as well. I think what they're doing is they are, what's it called? When you redo it, you
reenact.
You make it better. You make the video better.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm trying to talk.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like they remaster it. They're remastering it. What they're doing is I believe Tony Merkel and Wes Germer, enhancing it. And then Brian Sharp King also is talking about it. And what they're doing is they're trying to get it, not just this footage, but other footage that he has. Because if I'm mistaken, Mr. Freeman was just a regular guy, and he had this camera, and he went out one day, and boom, he caught it, and he literally spent the rest of his life filming these things, like interacting with them. Yeah, his footage is amazing. Scott Carpenter's footage is amazing. Yeah,
crazy. Well, he passed away on April 2nd, 2003. So, but I had never heard of him and come across that footage. Oddly enough, I'd never seen that. So really, really, really interesting stuff. The one that you sent me though, man, this one, why don't you tell the audience what information you found about this one? This one creeps me out, man. This one really does.
So I've seen this probably 12 times. A guest that I had on my show tonight, and I'll be releasing her episode not this coming Monday, but the following Monday. She sent it to me and said, this is similar to the one that she came to face when she was 7 years old. And when I say face to face, we're talking like 5 feet. And so she said she was able to find this video. It's not a very long clip, but it's in Colorado, and this thing is peeking in the window of a camper.
Yeah. I stuff that nightmares are made of. Check it out, guys. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I wouldn't have the nerve to sit and film that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but what are you going to do? Where are you going to go? I'm not going outside.
Look at Glow. I can't watch that. I don't blame you.
It's pretty traumatizing. And you know, that's kind of similar to what you went through, you know, as a kid on the property in Washington State, you know.
I mean, I'm glad that I never caught them looking in any of the windows, but like when we returned to that property, you could see that they were looking in the windows, seeing where we were at, you know, because one day we're there and then the next day we're not there.
It's wild, man. That, you know, that it kind of reminds me of this photo that Harley got and captured. So if you look, guys, like if you can see, talking about the eyes and stuff, but so there's the photo. This thing was sitting down. He was out researching Bigfoot report and data. And so somebody sent me a picture that they had cleaned it up. And I think Harley probably did, but I don't remember. And you can even see it a little bit better. You can see the eyes, the eye sockets. Like, I don't know, man. What do you think about that one?
I think I sent you that cleaned up version.
Okay.
Yeah,
I got an email as well from a member. I want to say Wade Fisher sent that to me. I think that's who it was, but it's pretty wild, man. He's captured some pretty crazy stuff, man.
Yeah.
He has captured some wild stuff.
Harley has captured so many things.
So much. Yeah. Like, yeah, he's done a lot for the community, and he just, I don't know, man. He's super humble about it too. But yeah, he's captured a whole lot. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this show tonight. We like talking about this stuff, and it's just been a whole lot of fun. Got some more audio evidence for you. This guy, and I like to play this one because being a former law enforcement officer, I know what it's like to work late nights. You know what it's like to work graveyard shift, drinking coffee, trying to stay awake, pulling over to the side of the road, looking for somewhere to sit. Well, this cop pulled over on the side of the road, rest area or something, and he captured this audio. I think this is the right one. Check it out.
What the absolute heck is that? Starting to regret that I stopped at this rest stop. And they say Bigfoot isn't real? I don't even want to stick my arm out.
No, thank you.
That, yeah, that's crazy.
Yep. Nope. No, I'd be back in the patrol car, doors locked, not going back out there again. So Roger's good to see you, buddy. Guys, if you've not checked out Roger's channel, you got to go check him out. He's a great guy. He's been on my show. He does a lot for this community. So check him out. Squatch and Holler. Always a good time hanging out with him. But, yeah, I would be out, man. I would be completely done. We got some more evidence for you guys, but I'm going to talk about a sponsor real quick. Not that I want to, but it's just what we got to do to keep this stuff going. But for you guys who don't know, we run a video production company called JS Creative, but we can work anywhere nationwide. We handle video production. We're a full service creative agency, and we build custom websites, custom branding, things like that, travel all over the U.S. and do this stuff. So if you guys ever need anything like that, just hit me up. Be happy to help. All right. Back to some more Bigfoot stuff. I got a really good audio clip here if I can find it. This one. Everybody's heard this one. Now, there's a debate on whether or not this guy's still alive or not. I think we talked about it last time, Daniel. You'll know exactly who I'm talking about as soon as I start playing it. Yeah.
911, what are you reporting? I got a strange going on out here. Something just killed my dog. Something killed your dog? My dog went flying through the air over the tree. I don't know how it did it. Okay. Damn it, I'm really confused. All I saw was my dog coming over the fence, and he was dead when she hit the ground. I didn't see any cars. All I saw was my dog coming over the fence.
911, what are you reporting?
We got someone or something crawling around out here.
Did you see what it was? Was it a person or an animal, or?
I can't tell. All I know is that my central light came on, and I just happened to glimpse and see this thing running across the yard. A good-sized man, or something. It looks like a man. I don't know what it was. Just that it ran across the yard.
Okay. You've had problems in the neighborhood before?
Yeah, my dog was killed here just recently. I don't know what it was. Whatever it is, it's running. I couldn't catch it if I was going to chase it. But whatever it was standing up. I'm out here looking through the window now, and I don't see anything. I don't want to go outside. Jesus Christ, you better...
Sure.
Dio!
Hello?
Get somebody out here.
What's going on now, sir?
That son of a bitch is about 6'9", I don't know.
Do you see him now, sir?
Yes, I'm looking right at him.
Uh-oh. Okay, hang on.
He's right...
Is he in your yard, sir?
Yeah, God, he's big.
Okay, what's he doing in your yard?
He's looking at me.
Oh, and the guy is on foot.
I don't know what... It's a big... real big person. That's all I can say.
Okay, but it is a person.
Yeah, I'd say it was a person, somebody really big. But he's all in black.
Is he a black male or a white male? Did you actually see whether, or was he just wearing black?
He's all black and he's big. He is big.
You know, he knew what that thing was. He just did not want to come out and say it. Honest to gosh.
Well, I mean, can you blame him? Yeah, especially
No.
back then, man. You know, it's not like it is now where people talk about it more openly, but he was really, you could tell he was really scared, man. Like, I can't even imagine, you know, something like that happened to your dog. That's crazy. Crazy stuff. But guys, I hope y'all have enjoyed the show tonight as much as I have. It's been a lot of fun. We went through a whole lot of evidence and just had a really good time. You know, I think these things, in my opinion, are absolutely more than flesh and blood. I think that they are, I don't know. I think they are either a fallen angel or a Nephilim, something in that realm, but that's my opinion. I know that you think, Daniel, that they're just flesh and blood, but hang on. What's he doing? Yeah, Wade, Taft the Wonders comment. He's looking at me. But his voice, man, like, you could tell he was really rattled at that. Like, what's he doing? He's looking at me. Like, I can't even imagine. I can't imagine.
That is, like, for real. This is one of my, if not one of my all-time favorites, my absolute favorite audio. Like, it really is. Because you could feel the fear, the confusion in his voice, you know, and I mean, you could tell he's almost upset because this isn't the first time he's called about this.
Yeah.
So, Oh, look at Nada. First time in the live, been a fly on the wall. We welcome everybody.
Yeah, it's good to see you. Bree wants to know what is the Patreon link. I can find it. I will link it down below. Patreon.com Mysteries Unknown. I will drop that right here.
And yeah,
nope,
Foot
that's
Clan.
my email.
Foot Clan. It was a German Shepherd. I think so. I read somewhere where his German Shepherd was like an 80 or a 90-pound German Shepherd, and it just didn't toss it over the top of the fence. Like it chucked it up in the air, up and over the fence, and it was already dead. So yeah, it's sad. But hey, I like to. I've got a lot of people in here that are saying hi and everything like that. So Squatch and Holler, Roger, I'd love to have you on the show. Please email me. And then Flat Rock, definitely shoot me an email as well. I'd love to have you on the phone as well. Anybody that are on the phone on this show, if anybody's had any encounter they'd like to come on the show, please shoot me an email, the cryptid podcast 72 at gmail.com. And again, also for Josh's Mysteries Unknown podcast at gmail.com. And you know what? I didn't get to finish. I don't think I finished what you and I are kind of thinking about working on.
Yeah, I want to sit on that until we make a big announcement with it, man, so we can get it.
Oh, I'm not talking about the name. I like that name. Do you like that name?
Yeah, it's pretty neat, man. We got something in the works, guys. Just hang tight with us. Hopefully it'll work out and pan out. I couldn't do the show without Daniel, these lives. You know, he takes time out of his busy schedule and he comes on here. So if you've not subscribed to his channel, please go check him out. Please go check him out. If you love this channel, you're going to love his. You know, we're both two guys that love talking about this, and I just want to give people a safe place to share their encounters, and he's the same way. So both former LEOs, former law enforcement, you know, we really just trying to give people a safe place to get the stuff off their chest, because it definitely helps when you can talk about this stuff and talk about it with somebody that you know that you can trust and know that they're going to absolutely have your back. And people send us evidence all the time, and they're like, hey, I want to send this to you, don't share it. Can promise you we're gatekeepers and won't go any further than that. So yeah, it's been a great show. Go show him some love. This is an awesome community. Thanks to all the members, the new members that have joined tonight. Bree, it's good to see you. You better go get something to eat. Bree says she's hungry. You better eat. Rick, thanks for being here. Wyatt, it's good to see you, bud. Paw Power, always good. I don't talk about him enough, guys. He's a great supporter of the channel. Really, really is always there and supporting. And so I'm grateful for him. Taff the Wanderer, Steamboat. You guys are all awesome. I hope you guys have enjoyed this tonight. It's been a lot of fun, man. Did you have fun?
Dude, I always have fun. And you know, it's fun because one, I get to hang out with my bro. We get to talk about something we have a common interest in, and we're a bunch of nerds when it comes to this, man. We love it.
It is, man.
But most of all, man, it's just literally everybody. And I could sit here and try to name everybody off, but you know what? It's not gonna be fair because I'm gonna miss names.
Yeah.
People have already left, but everybody that joins our chat, gets involved in our chat, talks with each other, talks with us, lets us engage with them. They engage with us. You know, thank you so much, you guys, honestly. And again, I couldn't do my show without Josh, honestly, and I equally couldn't do it without you guys as well. I didn't think I was going to get to where I'm at in such a short amount of time. Just from here, I've gained like 7 new subscribers just from this 2-hour live. And again, thank you so much. I have a goal set out for April, by the end of April. So beginning of May, I hope to hit 5,000 subs.
You'll do it.
At the end of the year, I hope so. But yeah, if I don't, I don't. And then
You-
by the
you-
end of the
you
year,
will.
10
Nah, you
grand
will,
by
man.
the end of the year.
You got it, man. You're going to do it. You're going to do it. I believe in you, man. And, you know, Daniel's been a big part of this channel. I'm so glad he sent me an email. Everybody's amazing here. And he's right. We love hanging out with you guys. And Bree's got everybody in here hungry, ready to go eat. So I guess we're going to go. We're going to go eat. You can tell We love each other like brothers. We do. Daniel is, for guys who don't know, he's not my flesh and blood brother, but he might as well be. He's my brother. You know, we talk every single day, and he's a huge part of Mysteries Unknown. And I'm really proud of him and what he's done over at the Cryptid Podcast. Yeah. And so you guys are all awesome. We'll keep doing that. Just so you know, to lay out the channel every single Monday, there's an episode that drops around 11 o'clock Central Time where people come on and they share their real encounters. They tell those and talk about all their encounters. And then every single Thursday, we do a live on this show about 8:30 Central Time, I think is the time we set on. And Daniel will always do his best to be here. Someday you guys might pop on. It'll just be me, and I will do my very best. It's hard to do these live shows. But, let's see what. Y'all should pull a Brady Bunch movie and look at each other's box.
Yeah, look up and then down like this. But I just want to say, Bree said it best. We do love each other. He is my brother. Unfortunately, I lost my little brother in 2016. He was only 42 years old. You can kind of prepare yourself for losing like a grandparent or even a parent. But when you have a younger sibling that just is there the very morning, you talk to him, you tell him you love him, you'll call him later, only 8 hours later, you get a call saying that he passed away. It's, I'm not the same. Part of me died the day my brother died. And then a year ago, this guy made a post and I answered it, and it took him a month to get back to me. And
it did.
I didn't realize that Bigfoot was going to bring our worlds together. And I love this guy like he's my brother. And I wish I lived closer, because I think we may be sharing the same studio or something.
Oh, we definitely would. I don't think our wives would be very happy with us, but
no.
Yeah, I feel the same way. It's amazing to me how God does that and brings people together. And, Daniel he's my brother. I've never had a brother. And so he's absolutely my brother. And I'm thankful for the camaraderie. We talk every single day. And this has probably been the darkest 4 years of me and my wife's life, but he's been there since I've met him. He's been there every single day. Keeps me going sometimes. And not only for me, but for my wife as well. And I just want to jump in there and say thanks everybody for praying for my wife. So you guys have just really lifted her up in prayer and checked on her, and that means an awful lot. And but yeah, you guys can't tell. I love Daniel. He's my bro. He's my big brother. And we just love talking to everybody and love the tribe that we're building out. So if you don't have anything else, man, I think I'm done.
I just got one thing. Where's my 105s at?
Yeah, if you remember that, drop it in the comment and let us know if anybody in here is part of the 105 crew. But hey, Rick, I'm glad that you're here, man. We'll see you next time, man. I'm excited that you found the channel. And as always, you can email me at mysteriesunknownpodcast@gmail.com. Check out Daniel's channel. You won't regret it. It's awesome. And you guys, I can never get off here without saying it. Stay prayed up. It is so very, 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 very important. So it's good to see everybody. Good to see you, Bree. Thanks for hanging out. And we'll catch you guys in the next one, man.